Well, I hope you guys had some time to catch your breath between that last series, but we just saw a 2-0 versus, or Stefano versus MC, where Stefano took it down, and now we're hopping into another phenomenal matchup. We talked a little bit about it before our break, but Wolf, tell us who we're about to see.
We're about to see a team match here between TSL Symbol and TSL Polt. You can see the win ratio of ZVT for Symbol just over 50%, but the players he has had to face that statistic comes from, it's a lot of really good players.
Amazing Terrans, yeah. So, I mean, you talked a little bit earlier about this, is that the team kill, and it does change the dynamic of a matchup when this happens. You know, these are players who practice together, who know one another's weaknesses, who know one another's strengths, and so it means that not only do you have to play into that, but sometimes you have to play away from that. You have to maybe do something that Polt's not going to expect, or Polt does something that Symbol's not going to expect. And so it always makes these matchups very, very interesting. And I think both these players are ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, let's not waste any more time. The first map is going to be Tal'Darim Altar. Polt, very known for his bio play. His play against Dongregul on this map yesterday looked so good. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what sort of strategies we do see from Polt here. He did show, really nice timings in the last game. He went up to 3 factories, made basically similar decisions in all of his games, but did them well. His splitting was phenomenal. There's just, I mean, we could talk for hours about it, but
well, let's introduce our players, and then let's talk about these positions here. In the northwest position as the Red Terran from Team TSL, it is Polt. And over here in the northeast as the Blue Zerg, also from TSL, it is Symbol. And, I mean, Wolf, talk to me a little bit about it. I mean, historically, this would be a great place for the Terran to be in relation to the Zerg, because it actually gives them a really good attack path, not only to the third, but also to below the cliffs at the natural.
Plus, the Terran's third is going to be further away from the Zerg and difficult for the Zerg to attack. So this is a great position for Polt, a tough position for Symbol. These two players practice together all the time. And, you know, I spoke with Coach Lee on the matter about Symbol a lot before going to this tournament. I asked him even, what do you think about Polt and Symbol? Which one do you think is going to do the best? And he said, I think they both have basically equal chances. But what he told me was the reason why the ZVT of Symbol is so good is because he practices with Polt so much. And the reason why Polt's TVZ is so good is because he practices with Symbol. And to actually see these two clash here now against each other in this match is something that most people didn't really expect to see, but it's something that I cannot wait to see. It's like we're going to watch basically the reason why these guys are so good at this match.
Exactly, yeah. And you know what? I just want to quickly point out, for those of you who have a very keen eye and you're like, you know, I see that Symbol's background is red. Shouldn't he be? Well, you're right. He should be. But they just chose the wrong colors at the beginning. So for those who are actually confused for a moment, hopefully that, you know, that makes it all understandable now. We've got, of course, the hatch gone down already. The pool's coming up for Symbol. And, you know, I just want to kind of go off of what you said. And we do have a gasless expand coming out from Polt. And I expected him to kind of go that way. But you know, you're absolutely right, Wolf, and there's not a whole lot I can add to that other than, you know, this to me is exactly the kind of matchup that I look forward to on a second day where we're well into the winner bracket, and you do come up with these team kill situations or situations where two players have met many times before, know each other quite well. It usually leads to some very entertaining games.
It does. It's a best of 3. I'm sure Polt and Symbol, when they practice together, play a lot of best of 3s together, but probably some of the time, for example, someone will be like, do that Reactor Hellion opening, or do that fast third command center opening, and Polt will just do it and he'll be prepared for that. But in this game, it's a best of 3. Tournament results are on the line here. This is a very serious match. The first time they've ever played against each other in a match that's not just for practice, for bettering themselves, but actually this is cutthroat. Only one player is going to advance here at the top of the bracket. And I mean, this is just going to be incredible to see. It's not like a practice game. It is just these two players pulling out all the stops. What will Polt's next move be? He says he double gassed. He's going to go for the reactor for his factory. He's going to go ahead and get those Hellions out. But the next move is the most important part. Will he follow up with Banshees? Will he follow up with the third command center? What's he going to do next?
Right. And look at this. We are going to have the macro hatch thrown down here at the middle. And you know, we see this actually something that Zergs begin to do. Not only do you create a nice choke for yourself, you get your macro hatch up, but you know, with the rocks there, it unfortunately...
You can't take a third.
You just can't.
The Hellions will shut it down every time. They'll kill the Zerglings that are killing the rocks.
Right,
so you can't take a third base here without that macro hatch. You need a bigger force out first.
Now,
you're so right.
We have seen some Zergs place the hatch, of course, directly below the rocks, and then they can actually begin to mine there while they get it down. But I also like this particular you know, method of doing things, too. You obviously close that gap there at the natural, and you know, it can save your life there, but it looks like we are going to have that Banshee follow-up.
Yeah, and he's going to see it. I think with this new Overlord speed, he should be able to get close enough here. Polt clicks on those Marines, as you saw. Oh, he just checks the reactor, then goes home. This is so good for Polt. He's going to be able to keep this a secret for now. And back at home for Symbol, he has no evolution chambers just yet. He has no ability to drop spores. So from here, if this goes unscouted a little bit longer, Polt could potentially do a lot of damage since they're decently close positions here.
Yeah, he has a lot of queens out, and he will be able to handle these Hellions no problem. But you're right. I mean, it could become a big problem for him if he just doesn't sacrifice this Overlord. And maybe he's just not ready for that quite yet. In fact, here it goes. It's on the move yet again. It is only got 117 hit points. There are a few Marines inside that bunker. So, I mean, this is going to be a crucial moment. What will the Overlord see? Here come the Marines. He's trying to get back there. It's so close to vision, but he's not going to get it.
He does, however, see the later tech lab next to the reactor.
Very true.
This basically lends him to think two things. Maybe he's going cloak, or maybe he's going for a faster third command center. But in this case, with the evolution chambers going down right as a result, you can't even say that it's because he saw that. It's more so this is just a normal time to get double evolution chambers. But it looks like he's going to have them up in time. Will he make the spores, though? If he doesn't make the spores, he's going to really struggle to deal with this. His lair's going to be finished. Like, he has basically almost all the tools to defend, but they're just not quite going to be ready in time.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually it looks like the Banshee might take a path to the main. It is seen, at least should be seen, by that Overlord right there, so he's got some good placement. However, he's not moved any queens back because he's going to rely on this one Spore Crawler to do the damage. Cloak is not done quite yet. He's going to get some damage before Cloak finishes. More queens coming up here, and moving on in, there is the Cloak. He's got Lair just about to finish, so I think he's going to take some damage here, but he should be able to morph an Overseer. Where is it? It's somewhere.
It's morphing, but it's not quite nearby. The Banshee not doing too much damage. He's gotten a total of 6 worker kills this game, but the bigger thing is that this Banshee can be used later on. This is not really the big...
Oh, the Queens just caught that other Banshee in the middle, but it cloaked up. Nice move.
Close call there, almost losing the Banshee in the middle, though, as you mentioned. The Banshee is going to be great to help deny this creep. It's going to allow him to hold the watchtowers, for example. So it's not just, even though he lost the Banshee in the main without doing that many kills, it's a good position for Polt to have. He has this leverage over his opponent. And Symbol going for a Spire here.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is something you hardly ever see in this matchup anymore. With Baneling speed on the way and 1-1 upgrades for the Zerglings, we may see Mutiling Baneling in a matchup that's kind of really gone away from that. Only Nestea is really the person still doing this. Look at that cancel timing here, being so map aware, not losing the tumors, will re-drop them as soon as the Hellions are chased away. But Polt here is going to be feeling decently comfortable knowing that his opponent has not taken that third mining base yet.
But he took the one behind it, and he is sending a Banshee over, and good timing on that. I mean, covering all his bases. Polt makes the right decision here. I think he'll probably get, I don't know that he's going to force a cancel on it.
Look at the control from both players here. Great kiting with the Hellions, but also the Queen narrowly managing escape, using the Zerglings there to save it. Nice transfuse as well. These guys are so evenly matched here. This is so awesome to watch. Baneling speed finishing up with that Spire. 14 drones on the way. Symbol feeling pretty comfortable with the positioning he has with his queens in the middle of the map, holding those Hellions off. And all of those drones are going to be heading over to that base at the bottom right. But if he has not dealt with the Banshee over there yet.
No, it does look like he's going to take out a lot of these Hellions, if not all of them, in the middle of the map, and that will allow him to get some more map control back. But this hatchery's getting down to 300. These queens are trying their hardest. He's going to scoot over and try to take out this hatchery. I think if this goes down, this is actually going to be huge, and he should have dropped that spore crawler long time ago. Here the queens call out a great transfuse. It saves that hatchery. A second one to follow up on that, and he should be able to get this. He goes ahead and just says, I'll take the drone kills.
Everything in the middle of the map was what this was about. The wings, the Hellions, the queens fighting there. He was fighting to get his queens over to that base. Like you said, though, he should have dropped the spore a little bit earlier. It looks like it's going to be okay. And Polt actually stimming to kill these rocks. He really desperately wants those down. He's actually stimmed his Marines to kill destructible debris. The first few mutas are doing a lot of damage over here. He's going to have to repair these depots. He's got to be careful and get those out. Loses one muta there. Close call. Could have lost more. Look at all the upgrades going down for Symbol right now, though. Getting +2. Carapace +2. Melee getting the Burrow upgrade. Polt, on the other hand, doing the same thing. Combat shields. 2 upgrades on the way. Getting 3 SCVs at the time, and he's secured that third base now. I'm
a little concerned that these idlelings are not working on those rocks to the third. I feel like, you know, even though it's kind of in that position where we talked about it can be easily attackable, the creep spread is really remarkable here by Symbol. He is taking this far south base, and is he going to be able to reinforce armies in these types of engagements from all the way over there? I mean, I hope that doesn't come back to kind of bite him in the ass later on, but he seems to be doing fine just now. The muta count is getting up to about 10 right now, and he's going to continue to make more. The infestation pit is going up as well.
This attack coming out here for Symbol, I don't like it. He's not really accomplishing a lot with it, losing some mutas as well here. And again, he's not taking that freebie base. He could be killing the rocks and getting that base for free right now. Polt can't actually move out and attack that with the creep spread that Symbol has right now. He could have that base up for free, have a lot of extra mining there, and then start going towards that Greater Spire tech. There's the Hive going down at the same time as Pathogen Glands are starting. And, you know, it could continue to be a little bit disappointing he's not taking that hatchery right now. He is taking one at the south of the map, which is even further away from Polt, but that's going to be very vulnerable to drop play with you know, the small Mulus count that he has. He can't really use Mulus to clean up drops as easily as he would want to.
A lot of links setting up for a potential attack here, and you had mentioned that you didn't like the last one too much, and I'm not a big fan of what's happening here. We're going to have a few Banelings morph, but honestly, he's been using a lot of his gas on the mutas and the Infestor upgrades. In fact, he cancels all of that, which I think is a very smart decision, partially because it does look like the Terran is going to be on the move here. There are quite a few Banelings here if he gets it before the siege. However, the siege does get up, and he has to pull it back.
Man, he is so great at controlling against Banelings. He has a sensor tower now up at the third base, so he can see this push that's about to occur. And here it comes. There's a wall of depots, one bunker, but no siege tank support. He's sending his Marines back, though. Some hesitation here from Symbol. And all of his Banelings are gone now. He cannot engage this Marine ball.
That was really unfortunate. I mean, he got a lot of good kills there in the middle. In fact, there's a lot of naked tanks over here. He did force a couple of stims out, and that will deplete the enemy or the energy of these medevacs, but he's still looking to be in pretty good shape. The Infestors, where are the Infestors? There's 2 out right now, and he desperately needs those.
He does need them, man, because he needs something to deal with these Marines. He has no answer while he's trying to get this Greater Spire up. These two guys are so evenly match, though. This is actually such a great match to watch. There's so many counterattacks going on. Polt very map aware. Symbol, on the other hand, a great economy, getting the upgrades out evenly as well. I feel like Polt is starting to really close the distance here, though, and Symbol's going to find himself in a little bit of trouble if he doesn't get more Infestors out. He's making 17 Banelings, but that is like Polt's best. He does the best against that unit composition, although that splitting was non-existent.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that he's got to be careful about is that his Marine count is actually quite low. There's a lot of naked tanks over here. He's got a big force down south that I don't think he's quite ready to deal with, and he's going to push forward, and these tanks are going to be hit from the back, doing a ton of damage.
Great engagement for Symbol.
Oh, that was a remarkable engagement. He cleans up everything, and in fact, he might even get the Infestors up here. He pops them the Fungals on this advancing army. He really needs to get those Banelings in there, and he gets it. He will clean everything up.
Yep, he will. Getting the Thor here as well. More Marines coming in, but Fungals may await them. Not quite enough energy on those Infestors, though. Nice pickup on the dropship, picking up that Thor, keeping it alive a little bit longer. And the trade actually there at the end was okay for Polt because he got some of the Infestors, got some of the Banelings as well. I mean, if you trade Banelings with Marines, as long as there's some more coming across the map, it's okay.
He got a couple of burrowed Banelings in there as well. He's got a couple just right outside the base. Now, there's not a huge scan for the win. And he does. He continues to rally units to the south. He, you know, I'm actually surprised. Okay, here he's taken both of those gases at that hidden fourth. I was wondering because it seems like he desperately needs gas, but he's going to make his way up. He's got his first Corruptors out. He's going to try to attack from the back. As here comes another swell of Zerglings, and he will manage to pull that off. Here come a lot of Banelings.
Oh, the Fungals with the Banelings together does really help him out here, but now that he has no Banelings left and no Fungals left, Polt continues.
Yeah,
Polt is actually just unstoppable sometimes with his Marine chains. He's got a huge wave coming through here. It's not even enough to clean up this first one, and with the second wave coming through, Symbol could be in trouble here. He has no more Banelings, no more Infestors, and Polt is knocking on the door. He's not selling Girl Scout cookies. He's not selling popcorn. He is starting to tear through the production, taking out these queens, taking out these hatcheries. Symbol is in so much trouble right now.
Oh, but the Broodlord's in the back. They might lose this macro hatch, but they're doing a great job where we see a lot of funneling. We got some Corruptors out. They could clean up the medevac. And although it looked like Polt was well on his way to possibly sealing the deal in this, somehow, yet again, we see the pushback. And if he chases with these Corruptors and actually gets a few more medevac kills, and it will be short-lived because he kind of brings them back. But now he's got to get that Viking production going. He has 2 in the queue right now, but none out on the field. So this might just be the delay tactic that Symbol needs. Yeah. I thought for sure Polt was going to be in a great spot right there.
I mean, he was in a great spot. It's just the Broodlords came out at that clutch timing.
Perfect time.
Yeah, and this is a good moment for Polt, though, still. Getting a few Siege Tank shells off. The bases and the bottom are something that Polt has not, it's like an overstep. He's now finally sending a dropship down there because he knows, he's starting to realize, wait a minute, how does he doesn't have the top right. He has to have some of these external island satellite bases, if you will. And Polt, he's not able to drop those. He can't stop the economy there. Like you said, the Vikings are a little bit late. He's making 3 Thors at a time right now, though. He's basically relying on his micro time and time again here to fight these. He's not making the right composition. He's just using Marines.
Uh-oh. Now, is he going to allow him to get established here? The Broodlords are pretty slow. They've got to make their way over here. He definitely wants to take out this base.
Those drones.
He's got to be ready with some Banelings.
Oh, the drones going down.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. So many Marines just taken out there by the burrowed Banelings.
Wow, there's so much going on in this game, but Polt decides to push through again, just like we saw him yesterday with Dongrigu. He just does not have the unit count this time, though. Tanks falling down Marines, the Corruptors chasing down the medevacs. Polt cannot deny these bases in the south.
But a bunch of Marines coming in here back into the main again. There's nothing there to really defend from here. Again, he needs the Banelings. Now, there's not a whole lot of drones here, but all of his tech is within this small base.
Yeah, he's killing more and more drones. The drone count going down a little bit here, down to 65. This is a great position for Polt to engage these Lings. He needs Banelings, he needs Infestors. Evolution Chamber will fall. In fact, he may get both of them if he targets here. The Banelings, though, are coming. Does not have enough medevacs to pick up, so he's going to lose all of those Marines.
Oh, but he does get that, the Evo Chamber.
And takes a supply lead as well.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, there's a lot of Lings around giving him some good vision of what's going on. Looks like another base is going to try to be established here in the far southwest. SCV's long-distance mining at this point. Most of the army of Polt is here at the northern Zelnaga Tower. And looks like he's going to push forward. He does not have a massive Viking count at all.
Oh,
he's going for it.
This army from Polt is stuck in the middle. Great position for Symbol. Even though Polt's got the better supply count here, it's going to come down to micro. Beautiful splitting the Thors, not hesitating at the front as well. Symbol does not have enough here. Polt's splitting is just too good. He does get forced back a little bit, but the Banelings here, that's so much resources that Symbol has sank in here. Does he really want to actually throw these Banelings away right now?
No.
I mean, he does not want to, but he is.
Yeah, I mean, he did have some Fungals to follow up there. We have a drop over here again. Oh, he might be able to take this out, and it will go down. huge, huge.
And now he's going to be able to kill the drones at the bottom, perhaps.
Oh, no medevac support.
Yeah, no medevac support. Broodlings and Zerglings do clean that up. This is actually, this is one of the closest games I have ever seen this matchup. The supply consistently equal for these players.
Yeah.
There's so many pivotal moments, like the middle of the map, he's still continuing to spread creep there. He cannot afford to lose his base at the bottom right. He's lost one now. Polt has a mining base over on the left side. It's like both players have bases far away from each other. They want to attack. Symbol wants to kill the base at the 9 o'clock. He can't. Polt wants to kill the base at like the 5 o'clock. He can't do that either. There's just so much action going on back and forth here. And I feel like Symbol is trying to use Banelings against an opponent that is just so good at splitting against them, but because he's traded so well with his Infestors so many times, it's working out for him okay, and he's building towards that better Broodlord count, and I feel like if Polt doesn't win another key engagement soon, he may just lose this game because Symbol has such control over it.
You know what? We just might have saw the game-winning move right here from Polt as he loads up 2 medevacs. He's going up to the north
Completely
side.
Unspotted.
It will be spotted by this one Overlord, but the question is, will he be able to get units back there quick enough? If he's able to take out one of these key tech structures like the Greater
He's doing a drop at the bottom here at the same time. This two-pronged drop may be the disaster moment for Symbol as he spread a little bit too thin. This is what Polt needed to do a long time ago. Killing so many drones would kill the hatchery as well, and the drop in the main base is cleaned up. But Polt does not care. That's not what's most important to him right now. He's just taking out this hatchery at the bottom right, a key mining location for Symbol. The Broodlords are now down at the bottom, out of position. Will Polt take advantage of this and try to go through the center? That is the question. He's doing it.
Yep, he is. He is. He knows that it's going to take quite a while for those units to get back. There are several more Vikings out than we've seen before in the past. There's no burrowed Banelings here to help support this. It's going to take an awful long time for those Broodlords to get over here, and he really needs those in this composition that he's got going.
Creep spread does not help Broodlords fly. They are slowly but steadily moving their way across the map. Polt, with a little bit of hesitation though, does not even get to clean up any of the creep, does not really get to take advantage of this opportunity. If you look at this, the income tab, he's got twice the income at basically 2,000 per minute to 1,000 per minute. And Polt is starting to really bank up resources, whereas Symbol is not. He's got 1,300 gas in the bank, but his money is consistently really low.
Caught in the middle. Here come the Vikings. He needs to get those. There he goes. He gets the Fungals on top of all the Vikings. If he gets rid of the Viking and controls the air, that could be bad. But there are just so many Marines here right now. There's some great Fungals. The Banelings take it all out. I think he might be able to clean this up.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. This is actually such a close engagement, but in the end, Symbol does win out, taking out the siege tanks here. Look at the supply. It's consistently even 125 to 125. 4 Vikings at a time. He's making 13 Marines at a time. Symbol consistently continue to spread his creep. He has not been able to clear that up. No matter how many times he scans, the creep still persists. It's not as far as he would have liked it, but it's still out there. Polt now mining from some more satellite bases, one of them at the 9 o'clock position, one of them over at kind of he's got like this weird planetary in the center. He's just dropping mules over there. He's got all these different mining locations. Symbol can't afford to attack these because if he does, he loses his foothold in the middle. Polt goes into his main.
Yeah, and another drop to the north. Right now, there's not even another building hatchery. He's off of 1 base, actually 2 bases, but he's pretty saturated over there based off of the number of minerals that are there. Although we've seen Symbol with some great engagements, I definitely am a little concerned. The economy's looking great for Polt.
At the bottom over here, there are some investors coming into that planetary I mentioned, and will he be able to fungal and kill these SCVs? That is the question. I think he might just do it, man. He's actually going to drop Infested Terrans to do this harassment. Meanwhile, a drop in the main base could kill the Baneling nest, and in fact, it absolutely will. He could get the spawning pool as well. This is huge if he loses both of those structures, man.
And Infestor's in the middle. He does go ahead and get a nice fungal off, but there are a few more Vikings out. Not as many Corruptors. He is going to be able to take these out, but there's going to be a lot of Marines left over.
There's so many Marines left over. Symbol dropping in supply very quickly. The Broodlord's trying to retreat. There's not enough support for them. He cannot escape. The Thor's doing some extra damage in here as well. Polt taking a huge lead. He's killed the Baneling nest.
I think that's GG right there.
His
opponent has so many mining bases right now. Marines being such a huge aspect of his army. He is going to hold this off. But again, like, what happens once these bases are completely dried up. He's spending so much on keeping armies alive.
He's just not able to keep up with Polt's multitasking. Polt attacking at the south again, another drop, taking out these spine crawlers. He'll be able to take out the hatchery there as well. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, of course, you guys saw that engagement going down in Polt's favor, and Symbol just starting to fall apart here a little bit. The hatchery at the south getting very, very low.
Oh, if that goes down, it's GG. I mean, it already is looking pretty bad here. The final two Broodlords will fall. There it is, GG.
Polt taking game one, and was a extremely, extremely close game. I'm speechless, man. Polt just showing the better multitasking, though. His drops, he's consistently dropping 3 locations at once while mining from other bases that he's been able to make across the map. And his splitting against the Banelings, that is, I mean, we talked about Marine King being good at this, but it's like Polt. He's a former teammate of Marine King, and he's showing very, very similar style here.
Yeah, I mean, in addition to that, you know, there were a few key strategic moments where it looked like, you know, we were going to see Polt just kind of run over his opponent when he was literally like knocking on the front door, the natural of Symbol. And I think Symbol will go back, and I think he will regret not having those extra bases up when he
took the base with the rocks.
He never did.
He never did it, man.
He was that stubborn in that engagement, and I mentioned that that could be a serious issue later on in the game, and it certainly was. I mean, once Polt found those 2 bases in the south,
he could drop them forever.
He dropped one, then he dropped the other, dropped one, dropped the other. I mean, he spread Symbol so thin, and I think that that was the proper way to, you know, execute everything.
You're right, and the Broodlords were one of the key units in the composition of Symbol, and he oftentimes used them a little bit strangely. Like, he defended drops in the south with Broodlords. That's kind of a little bit weird. That's something that leads him to... I caught you drinking on stream there. But everybody needs water.
Everyone needs water.
The Broodlords, though, were defending the base at the south, for example. And then Polt was able to use that to go through the center. And I feel like Symbol was spread just a little bit too thin with those bases at the south.
Yeah, I mean, the Broodlords having to go all the way down. And that's, you know, it's... I don't care how much creep spread you have, man. You take those southern bases that, yeah, they're far away from the Terran, but once they get ramped up, and you know what? It's not that big of a deal for them to load up a medevac and go over there and drop. If you don't have the units ready,
you can't send speedlings all the way over there.
Exactly, and even if you do, you got 3-3 Marines with a medevac. Like, that's a hard thing to do.
3-3 Marines dropping in a base. You send all your speedlings down there. Who's defending against the center where there are 3-3 Marines with Thors, siege tanks, medevacs going through the middle? You can't spread yourself that thin, and I feel like he just really did. With no mutas out, no drop defense there, he needed the core base that was at the top right with the rocks there. If he had taken that base, if Polt attacks there, not only could he defend that, but he also still has his units in position to defend the center.
Yeah, and honestly, you see a lot of great flanks happen at that third. I mean, yeah, it was a bad position there in the TVZ for the Zerg, but if you do defend that area, you know, you have the potential, and Symbol's certainly capable of doing that. So are these guys ready? It looks like ESV Cloud Kingdom is going to be the next map, and here we go. If we see another game like that, man, I'm in. Sign me up.
I am so in as well. These guys, I said it a million times. I can say it 1,000,001 times. They're so evenly matched. They're teammates. They've trained together hundreds of games, and it's like, it's just so evident in their play. The supply is always so close.
Yeah, that was